is back with the energy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Right.
Well, let's start very quickly with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, where they've emphasized the need for a minimum of 2,000 actuaries. That's to meet national demands and support the nation's financial sector's evolution. The Executive Secretary, Chief Executive Officer of the FRC, Mr. Rabiu Olowo, made this call at the advocacy outreach by the Nigerian Actuarial Development Program in Zaria. Speaking during the advocacy outreach, Mr. Olowo said the current shortage not only limits the country's ability to manage risk effectively, but also undermines the resilience of its institutions. He noted that the NADP is a comprehensive initiative designed to build a strong pipeline of actuarial talents in Nigeria through advocacy, curriculum support, international collaborations, bursary awards and mentorship, and professional development. The FRC board stressed that the profession was fundamental to the stability and sustainability of pensions, insurance, banking, healthcare, and public finance sectors.
We want to encourage as many as possible students to go into the actuarial professions, irrespective of their background. So we want them to write the actuarial exam and get qualified soon after their graduation. And that's why we are pushing, starting with the universities that are already running actuarial science program. When we are done with the universities that have actuarial science program, we will also visit other universities that don't have actuarial science. So we encourage them to develop the program.
To sensitize the students, to show interest in actuarial science, because it's one of the most, if you like, significant professions in the world. Today, actuaries are, very much sought after, and their work is in high demand.
In Nigeria, we have about 80,000 accountants, 60,000 insurance, bankers, 42,000, tax practitioners, 40-something thousand, but actuaries are only 28 in Nigeria. So how can 28 be working with thousands of people? And some of these 28, some of them are from outside Nigeria. So, an actuary is one of the most important profession. Why are more than even IT or cybersecurity?
Illegitimate air cargo trade will be met with stiff resistance unless operators comply with existing trade laws. This warning comes from the Murtala Mohammed Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service following its first quarter performance review. TVC News senior business correspondent Ifunaya Eze reports.
At the Murtala Mohammed Area Customs Command, there is a renewed momentum in revenue generation. Comptroller Michael Awe, while presenting the command's first quarter 2025 revenue scorecard, announced a total collection of 45.77 billion naira, a slight increase of 276 million naira from the 45.49 billion naira generated in the same period last year, marking a 0.61% rise.
This impressive performance was made possible through enhanced compliance of our stakeholders, continuous monitoring and enforcement of trade regulations, as well as prompt intervention and blockage of identified loopholes. We have commended all the command's compliance trades and stakeholders who have continued to support the command revenue drive in line with the service mandate.
In its anti-smuggling operations, the command recorded seizures with a total duty paid value of over 132 million naira.
In terms of anti-smuggling activities, the command made the following seizure during the period under review: 4 packages of immigration camouflage uniform in roads, 19 packages of 2-way Motorola walkie-talkie, as well as 3 packages of Colorado cat leaf.
Comptroller Aware emphasized that the seizures were intelligence-driven and achieved through collaboration with sister agencies. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Asians equities edged higher today while the dollar firmed slightly as traders took stocks of trade negotiations between the U.S. and Japan, even as uncertainties kept sentiments fragile. Investors were also digesting comments from the Federal Reserve's chair, Jerome Powell, who warned of the risk of slowing growth due to tariffs. Japan's Nikkei rose 0.7%. The yuan weakened as Japan kicked off talks with the United States. Trump, who unexpectedly joined the negotiations, declared big progress in the discussions with lead Japanese negotiator, Mr. Rosek Akazawa. In Asia, stock markets were mixed after U.S. stocks closed lower. South Korea's benchmark index rose 0.7%. Taiwan stocks fell 0.5%. European futures pointed to a subdued start. Chinese stocks were tentative, with the blue chip stocks index little changed. Hong Kong Hang Seng index rose 1.6%, led by rebounding tech shares. And still on the tariff issues, U.S. Federal Reserve's Chairman Jerome Powell has warned of a short-term rise in inflation over tariff hikes, while supply chain disruptions could lead to more persistent pressure. Federal Reserve Chairman said this at Economic Club of Chicago, where he discussed President Trump's administration's tariff increases on foreign countries.
That led to an extended period, one of the things that led to an extended period of inflation. So when you think about supply disruptions, that is the kind of thing that can take time to resolve in fiscal policy and regulation. These policies are still evolving, and their effects on the economy remain highly uncertain. As we learn more, we will continue to update our assessment. The level of tariff increases announced so far is significantly larger than anticipated, and the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth.
Well, crude oil prices extended gains today on the prospect of tighter supply after Washington imposed further sanctions to curb Iranian oil trade. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude rose to $63.11 with an uptick of 1.02%. Brent crude futures sells for $66.39 per barrel with an upsurge of 0.82%. Bonny Light sells for $78.62 with a downward margin of 2.84%. For the OPEC basket, dealers offer $67.65 with an upward review of 1.96%.